Now the naked ape that lurks inside of us all.
Welcome to You're Only Human with me, Jeff Green, a show that looks at the small details of our life and boldly asks, why in this crazy world of ours do people who snore always get to sleep first? Why do women always run a bath so hot you could light a fag off it? And if a dog's a man's best friend, doesn't that make us a little bit sad? And what does it mean if you look at this ink blot and see, as a woman in our studio audience said, a photocopy of my bum? Charming. In tonight's show, I'll be exploring two of our most basic human urges, shopping and grooming, and I'll be talking to the woman who put the muscle into Musselburgh, Rona Cameron. But first, I'd like to set the scene and offer my own personal view on human nature. It is human nature to break into a light jog when we trip in the street. Make a burp last as long as possible if we think we're on our own. Sit in the hairdressers fuming, but when they say, what do you think? Reply, very nice. Now, to help me with my research on the human monkey, I've gathered together the finest studio audience money can buy. Yay. Yeah. £7 the lot. They've all been given a very special questionnaire to fill in, which asks them their name, their address, will they be coming tonight? Will the house be left unattended? Do they keep large sums of cash at home? That sort of thing. And one of the questions I asked was, name one of the 7 dwarfs. This is because psychologists reckon the easiest way to find out about someone's personality is to ask them to name one of the dwarfs. They say the first one that you name, subconsciously, is the one that you most resemble. It's true. Which strikes me as being a very good question on the first date. If they say sleepy, you're in. And here are the little fellas. These are the 7 dwarfs. And so, yes, very pleasant, aren't they? And so I can exclusively reveal tonight, these are genuine answers. We have, in our studio audience, in 4th place, we have happy. 16% of you said happy. Obviously, 16% on Prozac. Or as I call it, cheating. In 3rd place, we have sleepy. 20% of you are students. Yeah. In 2nd place, grumpy. 22% of you said grumpy. Yeah. So, yes, mate. Are you a doctor's receptionist? But the outright winner, number 1, with 40%, dopey. Yay. I like the fact that some of you actually invented a dwarf. We had a snazzy. I don't remember him in the film. We had a floppy. I don't know what that says about you, mate. And we had a horny. We asked a few famous people to name a dwarf. Bill Clinton said gropey. Liam Gallagher, scrappy. You know him, psycho. And twatty. OK, let's have a look at shopping. That primeval urge to seek out warmth, sustenance and high-quality stereo equipment. Now, anthropologists tell us that shopping started thousands of years ago when we used to forage on the plains of Africa. Women would go out and gather small nuts and berries, and men would bring home a big carcass. And it's pretty much the same today. Women are still expected to go out and gather small items of food, while men like to buy one big item, like a car. One of the earliest problems for Stone Age man was the fact that he didn't have any money. Nowadays, we'd call him a sponger. But he got round this fiscal embarrassment by bartering, such as, how much is that hi-fi? It's £400, sir. I don't have that. What do you have? I have a turnip. Nowadays, of course, shopping is big business. Sometimes we're so keen to get to the shops, we make basic human errors. half a pound of sausages, please. In fact, shopping has now become so much part of our lives that experts say it's become like sex, which probably explains why men can only shop for a few minutes, whereas women can keep going for hours, getting purchase after multiple purchase. Now, in order to establish some male and female shopping patterns, we took our cameras into an ordinary British shopping precinct. One of the things we observed is that women see shopping as a social occasion and tend to shop in small hunting packs. Men, however, being antisocial creatures, prefer to shop alone. Peer approval is important for women and is sought at every opportunity, but not always given. But shopping isn't all fun. Note the woman in grey. It's quite possibly the 37th yellow jumper that she's been asked to look at today, and she really couldn't care less. To compensate for their less developed shopping brains, men tend to make lists. Or in this case, have one made for them. Despite being in an unfamiliar environment, male behaviour still emerges. This man has been shopping for 3 days now and still won't ask for directions. Shopping is all about making aesthetic choices, something women enjoy and men find baffling. Yep, that's where you put your foot in, mate. Here's every man's nightmare. Get me a lemon, she said. But which one? Aha, it's bound to be in here. Another type of male shopper we observed is the sentry. Although still technically shopping, he spends his day waiting outside the shop premises. He is an experienced sentry and he's clearly dressed for a long wait. Got the snorkel parker, cap and brolly. Now, where's me gloves? Watch this classic sentry ploy. The chap in blue goes in with his wife, and then a quick turn and he's out the door, looking very pleased with himself. He now treats himself to a crafty fag. Unfortunately, this pleasure is short-lived, and soon sentry behaviour turns to boredom. Nose-picking boredom. Yawny boredom. See the chap in green? He looks for his girlfriend here. Is that her? Oh, no. Thought that was my girlfriend then. Finally, for lone male shoppers, peer approval is not available, and so reassurance is provided by male sales staff, both verbally and in this case with a cheeky stroke of the buttocks. Let's see that again. You're looking good, sir, and you know it. But what do our studio audience think about shopping? Well, I asked the men in the audience whether they like shopping with their partner. I said, is it fun or is it misery? And we have a graph of the results. How would you describe shopping with your partner? Fun? Oh dear. Misery? Oh! 85% misery. Thus, let's go shopping is up there on the things you'll never hear a man say, along with oral sex, no thank you. And you have another drink, love, I'll drive home. I always thought this 15%, I was thinking to myself, are they mad? I can't stand going shopping with my girl. I'll go shopping when they build a trolley big enough for me to sit in. But it's not going to happen. And so, for modern man, shopping will remain a sad and traumatic ordeal throughout his life. But life's not all laughs. This is what I think about male human nature and shopping. It is male human nature to think doing the shopping once deserves several months of thanks. Think shops are always too hot because the management are bastards. And never grow out of staring at naked mannequins. OK, let's see what the women in the audience thought of shopping with their partner. Let's look at their graph. How would you describe shopping with your partner? Misery? Oh, only oh! See, I just thought that was very odd. You see, women know that men hate shopping, but you... 68... Do we have a picture of these women? So what happens when we try and break a fundamental law of nature and go shopping with our partner? Well, we risk conflict. And what is conflict? Nasty arguments that turn into tears and snot. And the woman is upset as well, of course. A Gallup poll discovered that 50% of all shopping trips in the UK end in an argument, and the other 50% start with one. And these people in the studio audience back me up. I asked, how often do you argue with your partner when shopping? Most women said often. Most men, bloody always. They're actually thinking of bringing out creches for men when women go shopping. It's true. I thought we already had them. They're called football stadiums. Isn't that where blokes go on a Saturday afternoon to act like kids? We don't need creches, we need 52-week seasons. Coming up in part 2, I'll be talking to my special guest, Rona Cameron, and Adam Ashford. Where are you?
Over here.
Yes. What were you doing here? And for our audience at home, take a look at this ink blot. What do you see? All will be revealed after the break.
Sometimes you wonder if Britain really is a nation of animal lovers.
Take this traumatised terrapin or this bewildered budgie, forced to spend their days
Looking at monstrosities like these. If only the owners had come here to Courts, they'd have found beautiful furnishings, beds, carpets and electricals with massive savings and interest-free credit. What's your pet looking at right now? So hurry, the sale's now on. Courts. Take it easy.
The Marks & Spencer sale is now on.
The MFI Homework sale's now on. Time to ring the changes in a rather uninspiring kitchen.
I can't see what's wrong with it.
And how would you know, eh?
By choosing this half-price Turin kitchen from the Hygiena range, Carol's got a dishwasher for under £100. But will it wash with Tony?
I could get used to this.
It's a miracle.
You'll love the change at the MFI Homework sale.
Doctor! I've got a massive cut on my head!
These Helly Hansen reversibles were £160, now $79.99. Massive cuts at the JD Sports sale.
To find the love he left behind, Chris Nielsen will abandon heaven
No matter how much it hurts, you can't reach her.
and journey beyond the depths of hell.
I'm her soulmate. I can find her.
Academy Award winner Robin Williams.
It's about giving up.
Go, Chris, go!
What dreams may come.
Dry yourselves off.
Speaking of dry...
Hey, gasping. Right. Orange juice. Lindsay. How about cola?
Well, how about Sunny D?
Sunny D with it. Yes.
Sunny Delight, the taste of tangerine, orange and lime, packed full of vitamins.
Any more?
I'll be right up. Thanks, Mum.
So when can I move in then?
On your bike.
Sunny Delight, the great stuff kids go for all year round.
How can you capture the freshness of the mountains in all your clothes? With new Ariel Alpine. Wear the fragrance of mountain air. New Ariel Alpine.
This week, I'll be mostly calling Holston Pills by another name. Adrian.
Welcome back. Later on, I'll be looking at our grooming behaviour and talking to Rona Cameron. But first, what do we learn from that ink blot? Well, the psychologist would tell us that if you saw lips here, that means you're a sensual person. Possibly you're orally fixated. You're a gum chewer, smoker, Gillian Tailforth, that sort of thing. If you saw butterflies, then you're the sort of person who breathes life into inanimate objects. You give your car names, you talk to your teddy bear, you say sorry when you walk into a lamppost. Now, there's clearly some people in the audience who are a little bit odd. Anthony Holland said, a whale. A whale, of course. Matthew Watts said, 2 ants having sex. How do you know, Matthew? Is that how you spend your evenings? Jane Sheraton said, cats with broken backs. What medication are you on at the moment? OK, let's have a look at another ink blot. If you saw kissing, which a lot of people did, although it varied from sumo wrestlers to chickens to fat grandmas, that shows that you have a longing to be kissed. Maybe the intimacy has gone out of your relationship. Maybe you're on your 3rd week. Now, Frances Redmond, she saw my mum when she's having a go. Now, it's actually very true, because these are the eyes, obviously. As you go in, tidy your bedroom. OK, what about this one? This is where our studio audience got a little bit filthy. The men went for women's parts and the women went for men's parts. And psychologists would say that you're sex-obsessed or normal. Tony Howe saw dislocated testicles. Ouch. Lucinda Cox saw the devil with 2 heads being sick. Yeah. You see? Although with a name like Cox, I'm surprised you didn't go for what everyone else sees. And I suppose the one that finally summed it up, Simon Dean saw a cheerleading penis. Well done. And what does all this prove? Well, psychologists might say that, despite being very similar, we are in fact very different. I say it shows there are some people you want to babysit for you and some people you don't. Here are a few more thoughts on human nature. It's human nature to want to look straight away when someone says, hey, don't look now, but that bloke's got a funny walk. Want to die of embarrassment when we say, when's the baby due? And they reply, I'm not pregnant. Say, sorry, I lost your number, rather than, sorry, I was drunk. You meant nothing to me. Now, one of our traits that firmly links us with the animal kingdom is our need to groom. And although it's been 15 million years since man fancied going up to a chimpanzee and saying, my face is leaving in 15 minutes, be on it, we still have a lot in common with the monkeys and the great apes. Take a look at this. It's only us and the great apes who can actually recognise our own reflection in the mirror. Budgies, on the other hand, just think they're at a really crap party. All right. All right. And grooming isn't necessarily about sexual attraction. One of our earliest experiences of grooming is sharing a bath with our siblings. A time of real fun if you like being half drowned in soapy urine. But then this Sunday ritual just stopped, didn't it? I've always thought it was because we could afford more hot water. Now both my sisters were earning. The British are considered the cleanest in Europe, though. We spend £135 million a year on soap. That's £20 million more than the French and the Germans. And yet, surprisingly, the French think we're dirty because we bathe instead of shower. How can you wash your face in the same water as you wash your bum, they ask. Well, how can you crap in a hole in the ground? We reply. Thank you. European unity. It's going to work. But when does taking a pride in our appearance become vanity? Well, as we don't really consider women to be vain, I've put together a simple self-help guide for the men. This is vanity. This is not. This is definitely dodgy. This is not. This guy looks like his toenails could pick up small rodents. And this guy looks like he washes his hands before he has a piss. But how vain is our audience? Well, to find out, we hid a camera behind a two-way mirror near the studio entrance. And this is what happened. Here's Adam. I think we've seen... You really like your triceps, don't you, Adam? Ooh. I think that's more than enough gel. Oh, here's another one. Where's our audience come from? The swimming baths? Look at him. Rather. Oh dear. Oh, a bit of a twirl. Yeah. Oh dear. How is Kermit? That's possibly the most attractive thing I've ever seen in my life. No, you're fine. I'd like now to give you some of my thoughts on grooming nature. It's human nature too. I've tasted our own earwax at least once. I think that anyone who can clean hair out of the bath plug without retching is a freak. Find hairy legs and American tan tights aesthetically incompatible. OK, to help me draw some conclusions about our behaviour, will you please welcome my guest? She hails from Scotland and, like their whiskey, oil and water, is an essential Scottish export. It's Rona Cameron. I have lipstick on my face now, do I? How are you?
I'm all right, thanks, Jeff.
We've been talking about grooming and we're talking about shopping in the show. Is there any part of your body that you would like to change?
I would like to change my ears. I'd like to change my... No, I'd like to do that. I could do that. Because I'm like, look, monkey girl. Take me back to the forest. But I've got some Irish. I think I've got some Irish ears there. So I'd like to have those pinned back. I like my thighs taken in a little bit. I like my legs to be longer. I like my neck to be longer. I'd like my back to be broader and slimmer. And I'd like to have no hips. And, yeah, but I'm happy with general face. And my pubic bone's quite good.
Is it? Do you know anything about what annoys you about male hygiene problems?
Well, I do go to the gym and I do notice that there's always a nasty urine smell when I'm running next to a man on the treadmill.
I've been to the gym. What is the stench in that changing room?
Yeah, but women's changing rooms are as bad, though, really, because, you know, there's, like, tights and stuff, and that's not good for sweat.
No. I saw a guy...
It's disgusting, isn't it?
I saw a guy watching the news in the gym changing room and blow drying his pubic hair. And I turned and went, oh my good God. How about shopping? Because that was one of the other areas that we looked at. Are you a keen shopper?
I'm a keen shopper, Jeff. I'm a great person to go shopping with. I'm very enthusiastic, yeah. Because, you see, the buying clothes, it's that high as well. Because when you go and buy clothes, I've never changed. It's like being a teenager. You've got to go home, play records and dance about in them, haven't you? And you sort of start smoking as well. You don't really smoke. And you think, oh, I have to vodka and, you know, cranberry juice. And then you get really down and you think, oh, what's the point? And you sit and go, what am I? A sad person that shops, you know. I've got to find true happiness. It's got to stop. I'll take the clothes back. They don't fit anyway. And it's that kind of emotional roller coaster, Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, I find that probably the hardest thing to cope with when my girlfriend's been shopping is the reiteration for several hours. I always think it's one of the things you'll never hear a man say again is, I'm sorry, love, can you tell me that again, but in a bit more detail?
I want to know more about how you feel about your clothes.
Yeah.
Well, Jeff, do you know what I think? I think you should spend a little time talking to your girlfriend about your clothes. Because I think she probably spends quite a lot of time talking to you about other things.
She says I never...
And I think you should share. And if shopping what makes her happy, then share that experience with her, Jeff. You know, we get a lot of letters from couples like that.
OK, brilliant. Thank you, Rhoda Cameron.
Thank you.
And thanks, too, to my studio audience for being such sports. And thanks, too, to the first ancestor of ours who said, look, Mum, I'm walking on my legs. Can I have a pair of Nikes? Without whom the show would not have been possible. Good night.
Our late-night film, Deliver Them from Evil, The Taking of Arthur View, is next.